My name is Bridgette Semple. I'm a group leader and a senior research fellow in the Department of Neuroscience. Women disproportionately perform academic service tasks, which detract from research and academic time, negatively affecting research trajectories. To rectify this, we need to promote women and men based on clearly defined metrics of academic excellence that are expanded to better acknowledge essential service work. We also need to make the invisible work more visible, better recognise and reward the breadth of work required to ensure research success at an individual, team and societal level.
I'm Dr. Gemma. I'm a senior research fellow and clinical psychologist in the Department of Psychiatry. People of all genders can fall into the trap of the likability bias. We expect men to be assertive in leadership roles, but when women are assertive against our expectations, we tend to call these women bossy or aggressive and like them less. If you catch yourself thinking about a woman in this way, ask yourself, would you say the same of a man? Encourage those around you to also challenge the likability bias.
My name is Associate Professor Anne Powell, the Director of Physician Education at Alfred Health. At Grand Rounds, female speakers are far less likely to be introduced using their titles compared to male speakers. This may not seem important, but it reflects the way we perceive the speaker's expertise, and it may be linked to an ongoing undervaluation of women. The same applies to our media releases. Female clinicians, educators, and researchers are often referred to by their first name without title compared to their male counterparts when reporting their achievements or publications. So what can we do? Please ensure that you introduce speakers of all genders by their title and ensure all media releases use the appropriate title of the clinician, researcher or educator regardless of their bias.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bianca Jupp, Research Fellow and Head of the Preclinical PET Facility and Leader of the Behavioural Neuroscience and Cognition Group in the Department of Neuroscience in CCS. Now, implicit bias refers to a psychological process where we unconsciously make judgments about people, for example, their competence for a particular profession, based upon learned biases that develop through our experience of the world and society. There are, however, ways in which we can combat these entrenched unconscious views. Firstly is education. Go and take the implicit bias tasks available on the Harvard University website. Learn what your unconscious biases are. They can be really surprising. I know that what they were for me. This self-reflective exercise should be mandatory for everyone and should be done regularly to remind ourselves that we are never immune from this psychological process and that our biases are constantly evolving. Once you're aware of this bias, you can try and combat them by engaging in mindful decision-making. Take the time to recognize when and how these biases may influence your judgment. Implement strategies in decision-making processes that limit the capacity for bias to creep in, making things like using gender-neutral language and blinding job applications and promotions where possible mandatory. And finally, expand your horizons. Step outside your comfort zone, expose yourself to the weird and wonderful world around you, and train your brain that first impressions are not always correct.
There's no mysterious reason why women are greatly underrepresented in academia from their mid-30s. The mystery is why no serious efforts have been made in Australia to address these issues. More paid parental leave and shared parental leave is great, but until men have confidence that our academic systems will genuinely recognise them as carers of children, women will continue to shoulder a greater burden. We need structural change and, importantly, a major shift in the mindset in our peers, our peer review systems and our academic institutions to ensure career disruption for carer duties is not gender biased, and only then will we genuinely start to close the gap.
My name is Courtney McLean and I'm a PhD candidate at the Monash Alfred Psychiatry Research Centre. As it stands, women are currently underrepresented in key decision-making roles in almost all industries across Australia. While policies such as flexible working hours, affordable childcare and paid leave will only get us so far, supporting governments, businesses and stakeholders alike to implement policies that promote women leadership is crucial. Such policies can include voluntary targets or minimum quotas on gender diversity, and the disclosure of gender makeup on senior boards.
My name is Gamze. I'm a research fellow at Central Clinical School. Basic science fellowships are less frequently awarded to women. The story is not different in journal publications. Whatever the reasons, the solution seems simple. Reviews should be based on merit alone. Double-blind reviews go a long way to that end. I prefer to submit my work to publishers that offer such processes.
I'm Jillian Lau, and I'm an infectious diseases physician and postdoc research fellow in the Department of Infectious Diseases. We can break this bias of women being invisible in the workplace by empowering each other to speak up when we see a female colleague being interrupted or spoken over or overlooked. Male or female, we must lead from the front and give women of all levels a voice.
I'm Professor Natasha Lannin, Head of the Brain Recovery and Rehabilitation Lab in the Department of Neuroscience. Academic career distinction is defined by our system as our track record, yet track record is achieved through an interrelated set of events, all highly susceptible to bias. My pitch is to no longer accept conference invitations, sit on committees or boards, nor submit grants which do not reflect your department's gender balance. I am suggesting we need quotas. Quotas would help to ensure that our academic opportunities are fairly distributed.
My name is Rekha Pai. I'm an infectious diseases physician at Alfred Hospital and a PhD student at Central Clinical School, Monash University, Department of Infectious Diseases. Stereotyping is the belief that somehow, in some way, a woman is differently able in non-biological functions to a man. This is untrue and has been proven as such in several studies and meta-analyses. The approach to address this is actually top-down. It requires organizational buy-in to understand and address the conditions that lead to low rates of retention of women, be it female doctors in acute hospital settings or female academics in universities, being passed over for promotions or grants. At the middle management level, it involves actively and consciously empowering women to succeed, providing opportunities, rethinking stereotypical thoughts and biases. We need more women in academia and in the workforce, not only because we are capable, but also to inspire future generations of women to come.
My name's Sandy Reader. I'm Senior Research Fellow in the Brain Recovery and Rehabilitation Group in the Department of Neurosciences. To address this bias, I'd like to see greater consultation and discussion with diverse women about the relative to opportunity criteria, to how it's determined, and greater transparency and discussion around how it's applied.
I'm Dr. Shobi Sivathamboo. I'm a research fellow in the Department of Neuroscience. There are these ingrained stereotypes that are often unconscious or implicit that devalue women on the basis of their gender. This can deter many women in progressing to positions of power. These biases can be formed by both men and women, and we first need to recognise them so we can unlearn this response. We as a society tend to go by more of what we see than what we're told. Diversifying our view of what leadership looks like to change what we see is crucial so that we create an environment that really embraces powerful and successful women.
My name is Loretta Piccenna and I'm the Research Manager in the Department of Neuroscience within the Central Clinical School. Ways that we can address this bias is by learning to accept that we are all biased, verbalising what we see, and being open to learning how we can change our behaviour. We all want to contribute to making a difference to the world we live in. The truth is we can all contribute, all genders, by ensuring everyone has an opportunity.
Hi, my name is Dr. Vilija Jokubaitis and I'm a Senior Research Fellow and Group Leader in the Department of Neuroscience. Systemic differences in career trajectories, possibly due to family responsibilities, carer responsibilities, or even the hidden workforce, as well as unconscious bias, has led to a large discrepancy in terms of the amount of funding that has been awarded to women over the last 3 years in NHMRC funding schemes. If I had a magic wand to try and resolve this, it would be to divide the funding pool equally between genders, such that women were marked against women and men were marked against men, and therefore our careers would be seen against other people with similar career trajectories and equal pools of funding would be available to both genders.
My name is Yen Kim, and I'm the Research Manager at the National Trauma Research Institute, Central Clinical School, Alfred Health. I believe the way to overcome bias and achieve equity is to start conversations and not marginalize or ostracize people just because they have different beliefs to you. It's all about communication and starting the conversation.
Hello, I'm Richelle Mychasiuk, a professor in the Department of Neuroscience. Along with this group of fabulous up-and-coming female researchers, we would like to discuss the bias of double standards. Why is it that I've been called greedy while my male colleagues are considered successful?
Why are we too driven while they are just motivated? Why are we told we don't value family, but they're just doing their jobs?
Why are we considered bossy while men are strong leaders?
So how do we fix this? By changing social norms and expectations.
We need to empower women, not degrade them. Strong is the new pretty, so embrace the movement.